All right, Apple's next iPhone had my curiosity. Now it has my attention. As yes, iPhone 17 Air rumors intensify, this time focused more on how that design will be possible along with some upgrades. Apple has also had a busy week with the launch of the new MacBook Airs, Mac Studio, and some weird changes to the iPad. Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip7 started off as a boring upgrade, and now it's actually worth considering. Google seems to be working on yet another digital assistant for a way to differentiate the Pixel 10. I'm Jaime Rivera, and it's great to end the week with these 4 topics that are worth your time. This is Tech Briefing. The official news begin with Apple, as the company has been really busy this week with announcements, but some of the changes are kind of curious once you look into the details. Things began on Tuesday with an M3 upgrade to the iPad Air on the design you already know, but the chip is slightly different. With the base 8-core CPU that we had on the MacBook Air M3, though a 9-core GPU instead of 10. That said, this allows for the same hardware-accelerated ray tracing among other experiences. There's also a new Magic Keyboard that mimics the improvements of the Pro keyboard we got last year, like the function row and the large glass trackpad, though the base is not metallic. Now, the base iPad upgrade is a bit controversial because, well, we have the same design and we do get a newer A16 chip, but then that means it's not Apple Intelligence capable, and this actually means it would be the first and pretty much only Apple product that's being launched right now that doesn't support Apple's own AI. Now, another odd upgrade was Apple's Mac Studio, which we weren't expecting to get up until WWDC. Thing is, well, the same design, which is fine, but the chip configurations are kind of interesting. It's either an M4 Max or, wait for it, an M3 Ultra. And yeah, capabilities and price differences for the Ultra are insane. I mean, if you wanted a fully maxed out Mac Studio, we're talking $14,000. Odd that it seems there won't be an M4 Ultra, or at least not yet. We'll see what happens with the Mac Pro. Now, the something in the air upgrade we were expecting was the MacBook Air, now with M4. Same design as before, now for a 3rd generation. You still get 2 options, whether it's 13 or 15 inches diagonal on the LCD displays, but the improvements come in the new color. Seriously, the sky blue option looks pretty awesome. Though, yeah, it's also pretty much marking the death of space gray, as it seems the colors now are midnight starlight and silver. The M4 chip pretty much doubles the performance of the original M1 and now supports up to 32 gigs of memory versus 24 in the past. Other improvements include support for 2 external 6K displays without needing to close the lid, a 12 megapixel center stage camera, and best of all is the new price tag. It just got more affordable. It starts at $999, though if you get a student discount, you get it for $899, making it once again probably the best laptop for most people. I'm curious to know what you think about all these launches in the comments. Now let's switch to Google, as it seems Gemini won't be the only assistant the company plans to bring to your phone. Actually, you can pretty much use Gemini on most, if not all, current Android phones, so it seems Google wants to differentiate its Pixels with something else. The company's Pixel 10 will reportedly debut with a new AI agent called Pixel Sense. Yeah, this report is as old as 2023, with rumors of an AI assistant called Pixie, though I prefer Pixel Sense, trust me. Screenshots of its setup were recently leaked to a Telegram group and then confirmed by Android Authority with a source that it's apparently from Google. It's being described as the most personalized experience based on the things you do with your Pixel. In a nutshell, Pixel Sense integrates with several Google applications, including Calendar, Chrome, Gmail, Maps, Messages, Photos, Wallet, YouTube, you name it. The idea is that it'll provide predictive suggestions based on how you use your phone. But yeah, I'm already wondering how this is different to some of the predictive text you already have or do right now. I'm not sure if it'll help with smarter automations you won't have to teach your phone to do, as it'll learn from you. But then we hear that another difference is that it'll all happen on device for added privacy. There's also buzz around an app called Aurelius that should provide extra functionality, but yeah, details are scarce. Curious to know if a better assistant could make you choose a Pixel in the future. Now let's switch to Samsung, as it seems the company is planning another bold change for its foldables. Let's just say this new batch of leaks takes the news from boring to pretty awesome. A new recent leak with CAD renders brought some light into the similar design we had with the Galaxy Z Flip7, but once these were applied into graphical renders, yeah, the back remains almost the same, but this cover display is a completely different ballgame. It now takes up almost the entire front of the phone, which means that yes, they're pulling a Motorola and also surrounding the cameras. This pretty much amounts to a cover display that spans nearly 4 inches diagonal, though we're not sure if this also means that full applications will work on the cover screen like they do with the Razr. Now in terms of hardware, that's where things get a bit tricky. We've already heard some rumors that it could be powered by Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, which makes even more sense now that there's a variant with one less core for thermals. The problem is that we continue to hear of a possible variant or all variants with Samsung's Exynos 2500. Apparently, it could amount to a regional thing. I personally doubt it, given how the company has approached the Galaxy S this year. The inner display is then rumored to be of 6.8 inches diagonal, and the cameras are 50 megapixels on the main, 12 megapixels on the ultra-wide, a possible 12 gigs of RAM, and options for 256 or 512 gigs of storage. If this phone goes Snapdragon or Dimensity, I will be a happy camper, and particularly with its current $1,100 price point. I'm curious to know if you care about this in the comments. And finally, for the most interesting news today, let's talk iPhone 17 Air. Apple is reportedly aiming to create one of the slimmest smartphones ever, or at least the slimmest iPhone. And the leaks suggest it's aggressive. We've already heard it could be as thin as 5.44 millimeters, making it even thinner than Tecno's Spark Slim at 5.75 that we recently had a chance to see at MWC. Yes, this means it's possibly thinner than Samsung's Galaxy S25 Edge at the rumored 5.84, and of course, none of these measurements include the camera humps. That being said, new reports claim that this phone won't be much of a compromise. Some speculated that a small battery would be included, but new reports claim that Apple will implement a high-density power pack, which we assume means silicon carbon technology is finally being adopted after Chinese manufacturers have been fully all over it. Adding to that capacity, we hear that the iPhone 17 Air will launch with Apple's C1 modem, which has already proven to be quite efficient with the iPhone 16e. We've even heard Apple is actively working on a more powerful version of that C1, but we're not sure if it's going to debut with the Air. Now, as for the rest of the specs, we hear of a screen size of either 6.5 or 6.7 inches diagonal, and it's pretty dense in resolution at 2740 by 1260 at 120 Hz refresh rate. Other internals include a possible A19 chip, 8 gigs of RAM, and options for 256 or 512 gigs of storage. The single rear camera is rumored to be of 48 megapixels and the selfie module of 24, though it's still to be seen how Apple plans to innovate here. In today's question, let me know. Is this iPhone 17 Air sounding like something you'd be interested in buying if it were less than $1,000 or at that price? Because, listen, in my case, it would highly depend on what the camera can do. I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments. Friends, I've got great news. Phase 2 of this channel is just a month away, and we finalized all the details with a great sponsor that'll enable us to take this channel to the next level with full creative control, which for me is most important. And a part of it is a second channel that is a bit of a surprise. Expect new faces, which include my brother Joshua Vergara, as there is a podcast element coming soon as well. Tech Briefing will continue, but again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Please like, subscribe, and join the conversation in the comments, as you've seen me try to answer as most as I can. Tell your friends I've started a new channel, and also follow me on social media, which is also of huge support. Our operation is now growing to 7 people, so we really hope you like what you see. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.